something I find interesting about myself is that, not the fact that I'm an overthinker, but the fact that I overthink my overthinking, because there are moments where I'm like, I'm overthinking this, and I analyze why I'm overthinking it, causing me to overthink even more, and it's just interesting. And then there are moments where legit, I know I'm sidetracking a little bit, but I started this 4 days ago, and I have written a minimum of 36 pages within 3 days, because I didn't write anything today in it. Really, this was 5 days ago, and I didn't write anything today and yesterday. Point being is that there was the reason why I wrote 36 pages in 3 days, and I was given like, and it was just whenever it was 2 hours or 3 in each day, where like the time frame where I wrote in this. It was just whenever thoughts came in my head, and so it just didn't stay up there. And there was moments where I had this story in my mind, and I was like, it keeps replaying in my head that I had to write it down, and I wrote like 5 pages on it. And then as I realized this 3 days prior, because it was the last day I touched it, I haven't thought of that story, now that I'm thinking of it, since that night. And I'm just glad, because 1, it's a great story, but 2, it was eating up the space in my mind, and I just couldn't focus. That was the only, it kept replaying in my mind so much that I'm just like, I'm just gonna get it down on paper. So if I add more to it, in fact, I added more to that story yesterday, right before I went to sleep, except I didn't write it on that notebook. I wrote it in my phone, and I'm just given, God has blessed me with these ideas, and I know, as I think of it right now, these stories that I'm given, the ideas I'm given, I need to write them down, because if I don't, they're gonna, even though they're somewhere in my storage bin in my brain, if I don't write them down when God puts it in my mind, it will be lost until God brings it up again. Because there's a few stories up in here that some I've written, not all, because I didn't start doing this until like last year. And last year I started writing down the details of this one story that I had 5 years prior that was in my brain, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna remember it. No, not really. Not until like something like, not until that memory is brought up again. And yeah, I don't know what's the point of this video. Oh, me overthinking my overthinking. I overthink my overthinking. Yeah, so basically, when you realize you're overthinking, and then you're just going to overthink it even more, write it down, because it's useful information. For me, it cleared my mind. It made me actually stop overthinking it. Maybe not right in the moment, but the next day, or I mean, even today, I didn't think about that story until I just mentioned it, because I realized, oh, that happened. Yesterday, I only thought about it when I went to bed, because I saw something somewhere, and it like, that memory was brought up, and I'm like, oh, I need to add stuff to this story. So I typed it on my phone, because I didn't know where that notebook was. It was in the backpack that I left it in. But ever since I wrote that story 2 days ago, and that story came to me like 2 hours prior, and the fact that it was still on my mind, just randomly, like I wasn't thinking of it, it was just brought up, and I'm just like, I have to write this out. Like it's taking I couldn't focus on anything else. I was in a meeting and I just couldn't focus, so I just wrote. I wrote for like a good 30 minutes as the words came to my head. I like wrote it. My hand wasn't moving as fast as the story was being formed in my head. And yeah. So there's that. If you could relate to this type of overthinking or just overthinking in general, in my opinion, writing down. It doesn't have to be pen and paper. You could take out like an iPad, your phone, a laptop, just type it up. Like do something. Get it in like a physical form, rather it's pen and paper or electronic. Just get it out. In my opinion, sometimes paper is better, but sometimes I do electronic because I could type faster. But I like doing paper because I get to write in cursive, and like it's shown in my writing. I'll alternate from cursive to like regular, and it could be like one word in cursive, the next one is not, and it is just how I am. It's like I don't think about it, it just happens. Sometimes I think about it, but most of the time I don't. And if you could relate, once again, please subscribe for more content similar to this, and be sure to hit the notification bell so there's no slash through it. Get that slash away. You want to know when I'm posting videos, because yes, I have my weekly Wednesday videos, but sometimes I go live, and then there's other times where I post shorts, sometimes twice a day, and then sometimes I post in the community tab. So have those notifications, and be sure to give it a like and comment down below your takeaways from this video, and if it helped you and helped you. We'll see y'all next time. And side note, it's okay to make mistakes. Just make sure you learn from them, even if it's just one thing, because that's one thing. Prior, it's something you didn't have the information prior to the mistake. My brain was functioning faster than my mouth could get the words out. Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.